The boxing world is buzzing with anticipation as the rematch between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. draws near, set for August 16, 2025, in Las Vegas. Their first encounter on March 31st ended in a razor-thin majority draw, a result that shocked fans and analysts alike. Roach, the underdog, wasn't supposed to push Davis to the brink, but he did, exposing vulnerabilities in the Baltimore Stars game that few thought existed. Now, with pride, redemption, and legacy on the line, both fighters are gearing up for a clash that promises to be less about belts and more about settling a score. The draw flipped the script on Davis's aura of invincibility, and the rematch is shaping up to be a war fueled by personal stakes and unanswered questions. In their first fight, Roach defied expectations. Davis, known for his explosive power and highlight reel knockouts, was expected to dominate, but Roach hung tough, landing crisp counters and working the body with precision. The controversial moment came in the 9th round when Davis took a knee, later attributed by his team to hair grease leaking into his eye, impairing his vision. While some saw it as a slip, others viewed it as a sign that Roach had rattled the pound-for-pound star. The scorecards reflected the closeness of the bout, with 2 judges scoring it even and one giving a slight edge to Davis. The boxing community was divided. Some believed Roach deserved the nod, while others felt Davis's star power influenced the outcome. Regardless, the draw left a lingering sense of unfinished business. Davis's camp is treating the rematch like a reset. Calvin Ford, his longtime coach, has been vocal about the need for focus. He dismissed the eye issue as a minor hiccup, not an excuse, and emphasized that Davis is locked in. No distractions, no slip-ups, just war, Ford told reporters. Inside the Mayweather Boxing Club, the mood is intense, almost militant. Davis is sparring with heavier, more aggressive partners, running double sessions in the Vegas heat, and turning down media appearances to hone his craft. His assistant coach, Kenny Ellis, defended him against critics who claimed he should have lost, insisting Davis fought within the rules and will be sharper this time. The goal is clear: erase the memory of March 31st and reassert dominance. Veteran trainer Greg Hackett, one of the few who gave Roach a shot in the first fight, has been outspoken about what Davis needs to change. Speaking to Fight Hype, Hackett stressed fundamentals over flash. Tank needs to calm down, work behind his jab more, and focus on combination punching, not just trying to get the knockout, he said. Davis's career has been built on spectacular finishes, but that approach may have cost him against Roach, who refused to fold under pressure. Hackett believes Davis must evolve into a thinking man's fighter, relying on poise and structure rather than raw power. The rematch will test whether Davis can adapt or if his reliance on one-punch knockouts will again leave him vulnerable. On the other side, Roach is training like a man possessed. Quiet and calculated, he lets his work in the gym speak louder than words. His camp exudes confidence, with his younger brother, Jordan Roach, making bold predictions. What goes differently? My brother wins. What stays the same? He puts his hands on him, Jordan said in an interview. He dismissed concerns about the controversial New York result, where some felt hometown bias played a role, stating, "New York was cool. It don't matter. We still going to get hands put on him." This isn't just bravado, it's a declaration of intent. Roach's team believes he can replicate, and even improve upon, his first performance. Roach's strategy remains straightforward but refined. Sources close to his camp say he's doubling down on conditioning, focusing on timing and angles to disrupt Davis's rhythm. Hackett, who studied both fighters, emphasized that Roach must be aggressive from the opening bell. He can't sit back and feel things out. He has to go to the body early and often, Hackett explained. Roach's ability to target Davis's midsection and avoid his devastating left hand was key in the first fight. By staying disciplined and maintaining high output, Roach exposed holes in Davis's game, particularly his tendency to load up for the knockout instead of setting up his shots. The rematch will hinge on whether Roach can execute the same game plan with even greater precision. The stakes for Davis extend beyond the ring. A loss could reshape his career trajectory, affecting his pound-for-pound status and marketability. Promoters and fans alike have viewed him as a generational talent, but the draw raised doubts. Hall of Famer Timothy Bradley suggested Davis might benefit from therapy to sharpen his mental edge, not because he's broken, but because emotional clarity could elevate his performance under pressure. Davis, typically guarded, offered a rare glimpse into his mindset on the Safe Place podcast. When asked about his dream fight, he didn't name Roach or even Shakur Stevenson, a long-rumored rival. Instead, he pointed to Floyd Mayweather Jr., his former mentor and promoter, with whom he's had a well-documented falling out. "Me versus Floyd," Davis said, a statement that sent shockwaves through the boxing world. While a Mayweather fight is a fantasy, Floyd hasn't fought competitively since 2017. The comment underscores the personal weight Davis carries into every bout. Roach, meanwhile, is embracing the underdog role once again. The whispers among fighters who've sparred with him or studied his style have grown louder. Shakur Stevenson, the undefeated WBC lightweight champion, revealed he picked Roach to perform well in the first fight based on sparring sessions. "I knew his style would give Tank problems," Stevenson said in an interview with The Ring. He's less confident in Davis's ability to adjust, warning that Tank must be better than his best to win. Stevenson's concern isn't just about the rematch, it's about his own future. A Davis loss could derail a potential blockbuster fight between the two, a clash that's been billed as a defining moment for the lightweight division. "I know me and Tank is the big fight," Stevenson said. "If he loses to Lamont, it don't look the same." The ripple effects of the first fight reached beyond the boxing purists. Jake Paul, the influencer-turned-fighter, had been in talks for a high-profile exhibition with Davis, a matchup that would have generated massive attention. But the draw threw a wrench into those plans. Speaking to Ariel Helwani on May 19th, Paul didn't hold back. "I never really thought Tank was that good," he said, calling the first fight a sparring session and suggesting Roach exposed flaws that can't be easily fixed. While Paul's comments may lean into promotional theater, they reflect a growing skepticism about Davis's invincibility. Even Roy Jones Jr., a boxing legend known for his speed and flair, weighed in, praising Roach's performance and predicting he could shock the world again. Jones acknowledged Davis's talent but noted that his mindset must shift. "Tank will come with a different attitude, a different motivation," he said, but he stopped short of picking a winner. The rematch is less about technical adjustments and more about mindset. For Davis, it's about redemption, proving he's still the lightweight kingpin. His training camp reflects that urgency, with grueling sessions and a laser focus on eliminating mistakes. The grease-in-the-eye incident, which Roach's team disputes, won't be a factor this time. Davis's sparring partners are pushing him to handle pressure better, simulating Roach's relentless body attack and quick counters. Ford and Ellis are drilling fundamentals, urging him to use his jab and combinations to control the fight's pace rather than swinging for the fences. Roach, however, is fueled by a different kind of fire. He wasn't supposed to get this far, wasn't supposed to make Tank look mortal, but he did. His camp is leaning into that narrative, training with a fury that feels personal. Footage of Roach hitting the bag shows a fighter on a mission, his punches carrying the weight of a man who knows he's one win away from rewriting the division's hierarchy. His brother's bold words, "We still going to get hands put on him," echo the confidence of a team that believes the first fight was no fluke. Roach's strategy will likely mirror the first: stay active, target the body, and avoid getting caught in a firefight with Davis's lethal left hand. If he can dictate the tempo early, he could force Davis into another uncomfortable night. The lightweight division is at a crossroads. Stevenson, Paul, and others are watching closely, knowing the outcome will shape the landscape. A Davis win keeps the hype train rolling, setting up potential megafights with Stevenson or even a long-shot clash with Ryan Garcia. A Roach victory, however, would be seismic, elevating him from contender to star and disrupting plans for the division's biggest names. Stevenson, in particular, fears a Roach win would diminish the allure of a Davis fight. "If he loses to Lamont, it's just going to look bad on the fight with me," he said. Boxing history is littered with missed opportunities, fights that never materialized because one upset changed everything. Stevenson doesn't want this to be one of them. As August 16th approaches, Las Vegas is bracing for a spectacle. Tickets are selling fast, and the atmosphere promises to be electric. This won't be a chess match or a tactical dance, it'll be a raw, emotional brawl. Both fighters have something to prove, and neither intends to leave the ring without their hand raised. Davis is fighting to reclaim his mystique, to silence doubters who question his heart and adaptability. Roach is fighting to cement his place in history, to show the world that March 31st was the start of his reign, not a one-off. The first fight was a warning, the rematch is the reckoning. For fans, the intrigue lies in the intangibles. Can Davis channel his frustration into a performance that reminds everyone why he's been called a generational talent? Or will Roach, with his quiet confidence and relentless work ethic, prove he's the new face of the division. The boxing world is split, with some leaning toward Davis's power and others backing Roach's resilience. Jones's words linger, Roach shocks the world again. But Davis's camp counters with a simple promise, Tank is coming. Whatever happens, this rematch will define careers, reshape legacies, and answer the question that's been hanging over the lightweight division since that fateful draw: can Tank Davis still be the king, or has Lamont Roach Jr. already claimed the throne?